everyone, DigiDeDeDegenerate, I put an extra D there just because, here with my very first ever deck profile for EX02, and as you could have guessed from the title, it is of course Justimon, as you can see from my screen. Now, arguably one of the most slept on decks in EX2 meta, even though I find him insane. Like, he's always my favorite from Season 3, and I have been playtesting, tweaking this deck as the only EX2 deck. And so far, it has only lost to Imperial Dramon because I bricked, and Mastamon only because I misplayed. And I'm going to admit it here, I hadn't gone to locals in a while, I was a little nervous, and I could have grumbled for game, and instead I tapped all my tamers like a fool. Oh well. Anyways, the only reason I lost to the Mastamon. Other than that, I've only really fought against Sukuyamon with EX02, which is kind of surprising because there's so many decks that people have been wanting to play, but that's the only one I've run into, and I mean, so far I have won most of the matches with it, so that's always nice. Well, anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. Go ahead and zoom in a bit. So, as you can see, for the rookie, well, for the babies, I guess, the baby package, we're playing 4 Hotmon. Now, arguably not the best baby, but for what Justimon is wanting to do, it's an extra 1k. And that is why we run Hotmon, because Hotmon says if you have a black tamer in play, 1000 DP. And you're always going to have a black tamer in play with this deck. So moving on from the babies, we'll go to the rookies. We're starting with an odd, just 2 numbers of Toyagumon. The reboot is nice, but half the time I would rather have Tsunarizamon. But it is nice for those instances that I kind of need a rebooter. And then we've got 3 Hagurumon. Not 4, not 2, 3, because of what he does. On play, trash a machine or cyborg in your straights from your hand to draw 2. Let you cycle through your deck, look for your pieces, go for that Justimon game, and so that is why we play Hagurumon. We also play 3 Monodramon, because Monodramon says on play reveal the top 4 cards of your deck and add all black tamers revealed to your hand. The remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. So honestly, I've kind of toyed with like lowering this number to 2, increasing the Hagurumon to 3, but every time I've done that, my tamer misses when I really could use a rookie. So for now, I'm running 3 just for the potential of a tamer hitting him. And then moving on, the baby you want to see under your Justimon, Tsunarizamon. Now, a lot of people know this card is one of the best black rookies because all it does is, when it's under your Digimon, if that Digimon is black and has 13k or more, it gains security attack +1. Since Justimon can swing twice, you can just go for game, especially if you get the Holy Grail combo, where you can swing with Cyberdramon, tap your Ryu, make it get the security attack, hit 2 checks, Digivolve to Justimon, unsuspend, hit 2 more checks, unsuspend, their security's gone. Then you could grumble for game. So Tsunarizamon, best baby to have underneath it. And then moving on, we have, for the champion lineup, another kind of weird, but we have 2 of the Tankmon, just because it's a 1-cost Evo and it is a cyborg, so it gives me some benefits from being able to trash it, or gain some memory from Kazu, or draw from Kazu. So Tankmon's in there because he's kind of fits a lot of things we'd like. If we need a cheap Evo, bam. If we need draw, bam. And then Grumblemon, enough said. Black's hybrid. It's how you get your games usually, because Justimon swings all the security and then you just have to grumble for game. And then next we're running 4 of Guardramon, another one that is really good to have under your Justimon, because you can trash a Digimon with Machine or Cyborg when attacking to draw 2. Again, cycling through your deck, getting those pieces, what you need to succeed. And then we're just running 2 Strike-Dramon. Strike-Dramon is alright. He lets you get a Tamer from the top 4 on Digivolve. Sometimes he hits, sometimes he misses. But the main reason we play him is he's a Dramon, and he gives, when attacking once per turn, if you have 2 or more Black Tamers, gain a memory, which is very nice. Gaining extra memory on attack with Justimon, who has a bajillion attack, is very good. And that's kind of one of our ways to build up since we can't run Hammer Spark. And then, for our ultimates, we're running the 4 Cyberdramon. This ultimate is insane. It's a 10k DP. His only bad thing is that he cannot attack if you don't have a Tamer. Guess what we always have? A Tamer. And not only that, he also has, once per turn when attacking, DigiDeDeGenerates 1. So you can get rid of pesky blockers or whatever you really need. Does his DigiDeDeGenerates help in the D-Reaper match? No. But he's still insanely powerful, so in the D-Reaper matchup, having a ultimate that can hit 2 checks thanks to Sunaraizamon, and then Digivolve and Justimon hit 2 more checks, and then hit 2 more checks, is really good for pushing out the damage. Hopefully you don't run into the Gatekeeper. But moving on to our next 4 champions, we're running 3 Megadramon and 1 Megadramon. Now, we're running 3 of the starter deck Megadramon because having a Justimon that is a blocker is really good. As you can see, we also running Craniumon, but having this underneath him, like if we can get both Craniumon and Justimon out, that's a blocker who cannot be destroyed. So he's in there because he's a Dramon and he gives blocker, just really good, especially in like the early game. If you can't go for the super aggro Justimon play, you could swing, unsuspend, and then he's a blocker on your opponent's turn. And then we're running this guy just in case. Let's say we got the worst stack, we have no DP buffs. He's there to ensure our Sunaraizamon will proc with our Justimon. That's all there is to it. And he's a Dramon, so again we can find it with Ryu. And then we got Craniumon. He's just a really good Mega. Also, sorry, my allergies have been killing me. And then we have Justimon, Blitzarm, the main star of the show. This is who you want to see. This is who you want to get. This is how you win games. And then, last but not least, we have the Chaosmon. Now, you're asking yourself, why are you only running 1 Chaosmon? Simple matter of fact is Chaosmon is only in there for the D-Reaper matchup. Having the ability to swing securities, and then go into a Chaosmon and kill Mother D-Reaper is insane, because Justimon's effects will still carry over, so if you power him up, he's gonna overpower Mother D-Reaper. And that is one of the few ways to beat Mother Reaper. You're on a clock, this kills that clock. Now they get to reset. And so Chaosmon is there. And he's a piercing. Honestly, he's just there for the Mother D-Reaper. If I'm in any other matchup, unless I absolutely have to, I'm not going to Digivolve into him. But it is nice. And then, moving on, we have our options, and then our Tamers. We'll just go ahead and shrink down so we could... Oh, never mind, that did weird. Alright, so we're running 2 Ultimate Flares, DigiDeDeGenerates 3, delete all Digimon on the board with 3000 or less, is a good card. It's in there in case we have to clear a board. If someone's trying to Rookie Rush us, or Imperial Dramon setting up their board, this helps us clear that board. We got Iron Fisted Onslaught as a 1-up. Again, Iron Fisted Onslaught is just removal. It's there in case we need it. Hits a security, cool. If we have to hard play it, cool. Regardless, it's there. We don't always have to use it, but it's there in case we do. Then we've got 2 offensive plug-in A's. Now, Justimon has a ton of strength, and you already get security attack from Sunaraisamon, but the offensive plugin has a good security effect, and if they get a gatekeeper on, then this will help combat that gatekeeper. So that's why I run it as 2-of. I don't need to see it, but I would like to see it. And then we got one Izzy Izumi for the memory fixer. He sets your memory to 3 and then lets me stack my deck how I would like. Very good, especially if you're, have a card in your hand that lets you search for cards. Then we're playing 3 Ryu. I really want to run 4 of them, but for the D-Reaper matchup, I think 3 is fine. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add a Dramon or a Justimon from there to your hand. He gets you your pieces. Honestly, I'll probably increase his number, but, for now, 3 is good. And then he has Suspend when one of your black Digimon attacks. It gains 1000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. So many times have I shocked my opponents by using that effect, and then people are like, okay, well, I swing over Justimon. I was like, are you sure? He's a 12k? I'm like, what? Yeah, Ryu's effect carries over. And then our final tamer, Kazu Shiota, is a good tamer for this deck. Essentially, he is like the Cody Higa of this deck. At the start of your main phase, if you have Digimon with Cyborg or Machine in its traits, gain 1 memory. And then, on attack with a Cyborg or Machine, suspend him, draw 1, trash 1. So he lets us selectively cycle through our deck. Also gives us some extra memory to work with on our turn. Which this deck honestly could do a lot with very little memory. So if they're memory choking us, it doesn't really matter too much. We still get benefits from it. And honestly, that's the standard list. I plan on working on some, what are they called? Flex spots in the deck, but for now, I think this is, if you're taking into account all the different matchups you can run into, this one handles it best. And anyways, that's it for my deck. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like and comment down below, and if you have any suggestions or would like to see more deck lists, please let me know in the comments. Subscribe, hit that bell, please. I'm begging you. Alright, well, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful night and stay awesome.